Okay, guys, sorry about the wait. Welcome to the researching workshop where I will basically just go over the basics of researching. For some few housekeeping items, please join the Google Classroom. This is for the managers and head editors to edit or check in on your researching process. So there will be assignments, and then you will submit what you have. And then we will see, and then if you need any help with anything, that is the perfect time to do so. Okay, and Discord. So please join our Discord. It's for quick contact, upcoming news, meetings, and assignments. And please change your names to your full name. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into the researching orientation. So first, let's go over sources. So reliable sources. So the domain matters. The most reliable sources comes from websites that end with .edu. This means that a college has their students write this paper. And so in these cases, you have a college from mainland and a college at California, and then Yale University. So in this case, the paper written by Yale would be the most impressive and the most reliable source because of its name and title. But overall, .edu is the best source to get your outside information on. So I would highly recommend using that. And our second option, which is .gov. .gov means that these websites are written and reviewed by government organized programs. So the good news is that depending on the topic you are researching, there is most likely a government ran website that like relates to it. So here are just some of the various environmental agencies we have in our government. So here we have the Protection Agency, and then environmental management programs, and then also sustainable facility tools. So these are perfect for citing outside resources as well. Okay, and then the next type of articles we have is academic and scholarly. So here I have linked a list of academic journals. Let me show you that real quick. So these are journals written by professionals, and they publish it online, and you can use them for your citations. So here they're organized by topics. So in our case, we would probably go for education or educational psychology, around those lines. Okay, and it's best to find a qualified professional with the topic you are doing. So for example, if you are doing a research on how the formation of specific plants are important to different animals, it's best to gather sources written by a biologist or ecologist. Those would be very reliable articles. Okay, so after you find a website, skim it. So see the author, who was it written by? If there is a specific if there's a specific name or organization mentioned, do further research on them. Have they written other papers? Are they qualified, experienced? Make sure they are experienced in the field you are writing about. So, and then the next thing you should look for is the date. When was it written? If you are writing on a more modern issue, for example, the development of medical technology, a paper written in 2010 may miss significant information on its development for the last 13 years in 2023. So it's important that your information is accurate and up to date. And then the topic. Does it reflect the topic you are researching or just slightly touch on it? Just make sure the website stays on topic and aligns with yours. Okay, and the formatting for the entire paper. So one paragraph for the introduction. This includes a hook, providing some sort of context with your topic or issue, introducing the topic, and then proposing or briefly touch on possible solutions. So you do not need to go in depth with the solutions part, but aim for at least more than one, just more than one, so you can pick and choose during your conclusion. And then your body paragraphs are the longest and the bulkiest. You should have at least 2 or 3. Each of them should have a topic sentence, introduce the point, and then have evidence for your claim for that passage. And then then you can introduce another similar point with additional evidence, and then end it with a ending sentence and conclusion. And then 1 paragraph for the conclusion. Restate your claims, so your topic sentences, and then reflect. Just what did you find? Why does this matter? And then state your solutions again. But this time, you are trying to identify which solution works best. And then flow your writing so that the ending is not too abrupt. So I take AP seminar. So I wrote 2 research papers. So those 2 are linked right here as an example. I will show you guys here right now. So I have it over here. So I changed the colors of the font to label which aspects is which. So the red is the topic sentence. So here I introduced how climate change has worsened over time. The dark blue is my evidence. You see here that I'm putting quotation marks and then the citation at the end. I will show you how to do that later. And then the pink would be the explanation. And then the dark green here is my ending sentence. So typically you have 2 pieces of evidence per paragraph, and then an explanation after each evidence. But okay, let's go. Okay, so for the paragraph, the beginning sentence is the claim. So what's your topic point in this paragraph? So is it about history, nature? What is it about? And then the evidence. So how do you know? What supports these claims? And then after the evidence, you go into your explanation. So explain how this evidence relates to your claim. How does it strengthen it? How does it weaken it, etc. But most of the time, your evidence should be strengthening your claim unless you are providing the reader with a counter argument. Then that would be strong as well. Then you would explain why the counter argument is false and why your claim is better. Okay, so aspects in your paragraph. So these are the topic sentences. So each paragraph should cover a specific aspect of your topic covers. So what I mean by aspects is that when you pick a topic, there are multiple different perspectives in that topic. So for example, I have a picture on the side there. The topic is prisons, but you can see that the green, the lighter green areas here are the aspects of prisons. So the issues of prison, the type of prisoners and the type of prisons. And you can see that in those aspects, there are multiple other different aspects. So those would be the evidence and the explanation part. And so each paragraph should cover a specific aspect your topic covers. There's always multiple parts of a topic. This may be a bit hard to start thinking about when you first think of a topic, but it is there. So perhaps you want to provide context in one paragraph, it's negative in another, and positive in the third. So I do have an example of this. So example, let's say I was researching about whether or not opening cameras will be beneficial to student learning. So the first paragraph would be the introduction to the problem discovered in PLE about video participation and possible solutions. Okay, my second paragraph would be outside research on why opening cameras is better for educational development. And then my third could possibly be the results I found from shadowing at PLE of teachers or students opening their cameras. And then my fourth could be the result of teachers and students not opening their cameras. And then this would help the reader kind of compare the two. And then my fifth paragraph would be discussing the solutions, and then I would pick a solution that works best based on what I've seen from my shadowing. But if you are having trouble with this, editors and managers can help you. We will read over your topic and then share some potential aspects you could cover. Okay, and next we have citations. Here I have an MLA citation generator just in case you guys are struggling with putting together citations, but the general format is that the author comes first, and then the title, and then the title, and then so the author, and then a period, and then the article title, and then the publisher, and then these are usually hard to find, but yeah, so you would put the publisher. So if it was from a university, you would put the university, and for here it would be the specific person who wrote the paper, and then you would put when it was made, and then if there is pages given, you would cite what pages you read up to and which you took into consideration. And then you see here how it's like kind of indented here. This is called a hanging indent. So all citations should be like that. So you would highlight the entire thing. You go to align and indent, and then click on indentation options. And then you would change this to hanging. And 0.5 is okay. So it should look something like this. Oh, and this would be at the end. So for your bibliography, where you cite all the sources. Okay, and then we have another citation, but it's in the text. So you put the citation in after every quotation you take or exact sentence you take from an article. So when you quote a sentence from a source into your own writing, you must cite the author, so the author's last name, and then the date it was published or the page number you found the quote on. So I know a lot of articles and websites don't have pages, so the year of when it was published is okay. So for example, Dr. John, a qualified psychologist, discovered that, and then you would start the quote on when you started citing it. So when teachers opened their cameras during virtual school, he saw a change in the students' participation. And then you would end the quote, but you would finish the rest of the sentence like you would normally do based on an experiment he devised. And then you would put the in-text citation. So the citation goes at the end of your sentence, not quotation. And then the period goes after the citation, not before. So this would be the correct way to do an in-text citation. Okay, and then for providing evidence. So the first three are just a few example words you could use whenever you're citing, when you're beginning to cite or cite a source. So according to the name, a researcher done by the name, based on a paper written by the name. Okay, always mention an author's credibility before going into their paper. So if they are a professor from Harvard, please say that. If they are a professional ecologist, state that. If they don't have a credibility, avoid using their paper. So here I have an example here. According to Anthony Fauci, director of NIAID and graduate of Cornell University, and then I would go into his work. But this is just to establish credibility so that your readers know that the information you took this quote from is reliable. Okay, and then hooks. So this would be in the beginning of your introduction. Of course, this is a research paper, so you don't really have to be very creative with it, but it's still important in a sense that it introduces your topic. So it just depends on how you want to introduce it. So you can start off with statistics. So over 10 million people believe that climate change is real, something to really grab the reader's attention. Or you can start with quotations from someone. So Maya Angelou once said, "Stand up straight and realize who you are, that you tower over your circumstances." You can start with a question. So what is the difference between a well-adjusted dog and an anxious one? Or you can just start off with a very elaborate statement. So French cinema is the most influential genre of film in the last 100 years and has single-handedly shaped modern cinema as we know it. So this is all up to you and how you develop your own writing style. But yeah. So for conclusions and solutions. So first for your conclusions, restate your claims. So but not in the exact same words, but then start focusing on the results you saw from those claims. So your conclusion is when you discuss the possible solutions and which one works best. So how do you like pick your best solutions? So like you should be discussing all the pros and cons of all your solutions or all the possible solutions, and then pick the one that is most achievable as of PLE's capabilities. So some solutions may be very ambitious, but there are some that is completely doable. And but you have to be sure to explain why and how you can implement this yourself, because after the research, if you are like a teacher or a manager from a different program, it's extremely beneficial if you can implement your own findings into these issues to strengthen PLE's educational impact. Okay, and then language and vocabulary. So for a research paper, it is concise and straight to the point. So avoid using personal pronouns and be confident. Don't use words like maybe, somewhat, or show uncertainty especially when you're explaining evidence. I read a lot of other papers during peer review in my classes, and a lot of the times after a evidence, they would say things like, "Oh, I think this means that," but if you're second guessing yourself, it would weaken your information, so and explanations. So like it's best to just say this shows that, or yeah, just be straight to the point. Don't add bluffer words or like empty words there just to take up space. So and you do not need to use big words to prove a point. Please do not go on thesaurus.com and search up another word for show or prove, because it's not recommended, and it really like just write it like how you would write it yourself. So any words you know previously, if you do need to add new words to understand a topic, then that's fine, but adding like unnecessary big words is not the best idea. And stay professional and do not use slang. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure everyone has written like a school paper before, but you would not put any like messages you would send on social media onto it. So stay professional with your language and vocabulary. Okay, so now I'm moving to like a more like, that was it for the researching. So like I'm moving more towards the branch itself. So shadowing in steps, I got a lot of emails saying how people were confused about how all the shadowing things work. So I'm just going to clarify a little here. So I would suggest making a schedule for it. So lay out when and how frequent you are shadowing and for which program. And then make sure you leave like a day to like refine your notes or start thinking of something to research, because you are not expected to shadow every single day. It's just what your schedule can handle. But you can also mark down deadlines for Google assignments or any check-ins. which will be notified ahead of time, so you can know what to submit before that. So here's just an example here. So Monday, I would go to the youth tutoring program and I would manage there, or I would shadow there and then take some notes. And then Tuesday, I would work on the notes. And then Wednesday, I would do that as well. And then for Thursday, I would go to the Philly program and shadow for a bit. And then Friday, I would go to the chapter 23 to 24. And then during the weekends, I would work on my notes. So, but this is completely up to you. Just make sure you spend enough time in the in your assigned branch to like get an understanding of a topic you want to do, or just to like open like new doors to possible experiments you could do by yourself, because experiments are one of the best evidence you could use during your researching like sessions. So like yeah, so you can organize that yourself, but just be sure to stay on top of it. Okay, and so when you're in the meeting, you would change your name and then add researcher at the end. This way managers can give you co-host, so you can like jump around the breakout rooms. And then you would hop around the meeting and take notes. So notes. So you would be making a copy of this doc right here, or if it's gonna look okay. This doc right here with everyone's names assigned to it. And you would rename the doc. You would make a copy of this doc first, and then you would rename it. You would just put your name, and then you would put your last name, and then the rest stays the same. But then I'm going to create a Google assignment for everyone to link theirs in the comment, because this is important when it comes to tracking your researching process. So like this is the template. So you would copy this every single time you join a meeting, however many times you want. And then you will put the date, the day of the week, which program you're in. And then you would take notes on the teachers you shadowed that day. And you do not have to shadow all the teachers that day. I know for the Saturday branch, it is a lot of teachers. So like you could split who to shadow each day, or if you find a teacher particularly interesting, you would shadow that one more. But yeah, the shadowing process is all up to you. And then the purpose of this, or the note-taking part, is to just find a topic you want to research first. I know I interviewed a few people, so I think a lot of people already have an idea on what they want to research. So this could just be your way of finding evidence if you want. Okay, and so on the last note, so some additional information. So those who are assigned to shadow the Philly program, Claire and her team is currently developing their summer enrichment session. So the times and days might change, but we will inform you on the update. And last but not least, you are not expected to start shadowing now, but if you'd like to start early, you can. I know that a lot of people are going on vacation or doing other programs, so I totally understand if you're not able to start now. You're not expected to, because we still have like another orientation for data analytics once that's all planned out. And before you start actually researching. I'm thinking early or mid-August, but that is still during the summer. But I will check in with all the researchers then, but until then, you guys are not required to start anything. But if you do have like a topic you're interested in, that's already a head start. So that's great. So that's all from me. So do you guys have any further questions? Yeah, so if you guys don't have any questions, Oh, yes. I will link the Classroom and Discord right now. And then I will post the slides here as well. And then I will also post the slides on the Classroom and the Discord. So you guys will not lose that. And but other than that, does anyone have any other questions? Yeah, but that's all from me.
The Google Classroom's not letting me join.
Oh, do you have a PLE account?
They haven't given it to me yet.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I think the Google Classroom only allows like people from the PLE organization. So I will get that situated. I will find that out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Okay, anything else? Okay.